Hey yo, E-King Fight News. Y'all know what it is, back at it. And Gennady Golovkin, going into this Vanes Mitrosian fight, a lot of people, they want to give Golovkin a pass. They say, hey man, don't go so hard on Triple G, man. It's Mexican style, man. Canelo test positive, man. Yo, Gennady Golovkin had a mandatory from every sanctioning body he holds a belt. Gennady Golovkin had either a number one contender or a mandatory calling him out, and he didn't want none of that work. And you're gonna see after he beats Vanes, because Vanes is only bringing it. He got dragged out of retirement for this fight. And you know what? It might be a competitive fight. I don't know if Vanes is really in any kind of shape, but if Vanes comes in here and gets knocked out as all of us expect them to, I mean, is that a legitimate title defense? When he should have been facing Canelo? Not only that, but the media should not even be talking about Gennady Golovkin tying Bernard Hopkins' record for successful middleweight title defenses, and I'm gonna break down why coming right up. E-King Fight News. Alright, so this whole idea of Gennady Golovkin having 18, 19, this would be his 19th title defense, that is straight bullshit. He really only has 11 legitimate title defenses, guys, and I'm gonna tell you why right now. The title in question that Golovkin quote unquote defended 19 times to really be considered on par with Bernard Hopkins, the title in question is the WBA regular title. Now, this is still in an era where WBA had 2 titles per division. They had the Super Champion, which I guess they bestowed upon champions who held the title for a certain period of time. I actually don't know exactly why they separate a Super Champion from a regular champion. But the second they do that, that regular title is basically just given as something of a number one contendership for the Super Champion. So it's not a legitimate World Championship title. That's really you look at that title, to me that's like the WBC silver belt. If you look at today's sort of landscape, that WBA regular title is really the WBC, think about it like the WBC silver belt. No one looks at Dillian White and thinks of him as a world champion. No one looks, okay, right now in the middleweight division, there's a WBA regular champion out of Japan. His name is Ryoto Murata. He's promoted by Top Rank. Does anybody know who this guy is? Does anybody look at him as the world champion? A middleweight world champion? Absolutely not. I don't even think he's fought outside of Japan. Right? So, this is the same case with Golovkin, because he won a vacant WBA regular title against, it was Kasim Uma. That's the fight where he got that first title. And it was like it's like the silver fucking belt. It is the regular championship, but he never beat Felix Sturm. Felix Sturm was the super champion at the time, right? He was a true champion. He was the guy that I'm not sure who Felix Sturm beat, but he was a long-time champion in the middleweight division. And Triple G was just on the rise at that point. But Felix Sturm was the legitimate champion on the WBA at the time. At the time, it was Felix Sturm. And then Felix Sturm lost the WBA title to Daniel Geale in an upset, and then Gennady Golovkin beat Daniel Geale. That is really when he legitimately beat a legit contender and someone that held a legitimate world championship, because he got that WBA Super Championship from Felix Sturm. So it was actually in like 2012 or 2013 where Gennady Golovkin won his first legitimate world championship. So, before that, he was holding on to that regular title, but that's not legit, guys. Point blank, that's not legit. So, I don't know where people are talking about, Gennady Golovkin tying Bernard Hopkins. That's absolutely ridiculous. You know what? Even I got fooled, because at the time I thought he was a champ, but I did a little bit of research, and during that whole period where Gennady Golovkin was the regular champion, Felix Sturm was the super champion, and they never got to square off. So that's the truth. That's 100. Gennady Golovkin really only has 11 title defenses at middleweight. I don't even know if you put him at number 2, because he's not even up there, right? So E-King Fight News, that's what it is. Gennady Golovkin, as I said before, wouldn't be able to hold Bernard Hopkins' jockstrap. I don't even think he would stand a chance against a legitimate prime Bernard Hopkins or any other all-time great middleweight. So those are just my thoughts. E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button. Sub to the channel.